Hey guys, this is Bryce. This is our first attempt at podcasting, so we hope you stick with us and give us a chance to entertain you. We have a basic background and logo, as you can see on the screen, but we are working with an artist to get some good looking stuff for all you to look at and for us to have while we do this podcast. In this episode, we call ourselves the Animates because that's the name we came up with, but that name was taken on YouTube, and we realized that after we recorded this, so we made this new name, the Not Made in Japan podcast. We thought it'd be fun to give our opinions on anime, manga, nerdcore, and other nerd culture, but none of us are experts, clearly. We are just a couple of friends who enjoy talking about some nerd culture. So we hope you enjoy. Hey guys, welcome to our podcast. We're the Animates, which is a couple of friends that talk about anime, manga, and general nerd culture topics. With me today, I have Tanner.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Tanner.
And Nick.
Hey, what's going on?
Now, normally we would have our other friend, but he's not with us.
Wah, wah, wah.
So this is going to be our first episode, kind of an introduction to who we are. This is going to be episode 1, where we talk a little bit about who we are, how we got into anime, the first anime we watched, and then our top 3 right now. Before we do that, we're going to go around and kind of say what we're watching and reading right now. Let's start with Nick.
All right, so right now I'm reading this newer manga called Mashal. It's a hilarious manga. It's kind of like a mix between Black Clover and One Punch Man. Highly recommend and it's just super awesome. I love it. And the anime that I'm watching is Demon Slayer, and I'm just absolutely loving the animation of that show.
It is a good one. That's good
All
art
right.
on that one.
Tanner?
Yeah, so I'm actually currently watching Jujutsu Kaisen, which I'm pretty sure a bunch of people are. It's super up to speed. I'm waiting on more episodes. Can't get enough of that one. I'm not reading any manga right now. I'm just watching stuff. So I'm going back through Black Clover and also going back through Attack on Titan before I roll into the new season of Attack on Titan. Just revisiting some stuff.
All right, perfect. As for myself, I am watching Attack on Titan and Jujutsu, as well as I'm going back and watching Yu Yu Hakusho for the first time. I'm about halfway through it. I will say it isn't as dated as a lot of people say it is. It's older, but it still looks pretty good.
Togashi is a mastermind.
Yeah, until Hunter, and then it was just like kind of trash.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
Wow. We'll get into that later.
Oh, man.
So we're gonna go around and talk about how or why we got into anime. I guess I'll start. So all of us wrestled, and we were traveling. We all went to the same college initially. So we were going, and we were coming back from a meet, and I was just looking for something to watch, and Bleach popped up on my Netflix because it has the first, 70 episodes on Netflix, and this was 6 years ago, and I watched it, and I loved it, and from that point I was just like, man, I love this show. This is really good.
Just couldn't get enough.
I need to get other people to watch this too. And then I watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is arguably the greatest show ever written.
It's a good one. I like that one.
And then
It's also kind of boring, though.
Oh my god.
Great show, but it's a little boring.
Oh my god, no, it's not. You can't
I don't think it's
understand the
boring.
complexities of it.
I think it's a great show. It's in my top 10, but I think it's just a touch boring.
Is it because of all the politics and things they have in it?
No, because I love politics and other shows.
Okay. And then systematically, I tried to get the other guys in this podcast to watch anime around the same time I did. But they looked at me, thought I was a weirdo, and was like, I'm not watching that.
Well, I was still 18 years old at the time, so
That's fair.
I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
I don't think I had a TV in my dorm room.
And then the first one I watched, obviously, as I said, was Bleach. Who wants to go next? Let's see. Tanner would be the next person. So Tanner, you go ahead.
Yeah, sure. I'll hop in. I started watching anime, I think it was sophomore summer going into my junior year of college. Originally we'd all gone to school together, but I had transferred to school in Colorado, was wrestling there, and I had a roommate named PT, great guy, funny dude, but he would always watch everything. He'd watch a bunch of random stuff, and then one day he was like, "Do you watch anime?" And I was like, "No, I don't. I've never really given it a shot. Never really even heard anything of it. Like, talk about the kids that run around the hallways with their arms behind their back, stuff like that."
Never heard anything of it?
Yeah, not really. I mean, I'd heard of it because you had brought it up, but I just kind of blown it off. Like,
didn't watch it.
Yeah, you told me to watch it, but We talked about it for like a second. And then I ended up just watching. He showed me one fight scene. He goes, I'll show you a fight scene and you'll be hooked. So he pulls up Naruto, and I'm pretty sure. I think it was the scene where Naruto fought Pain. So he showed me something all the way in Shippuden. And then I was like, if that's how fight scenes kind of play out, that you can see the story how it gets there. I just was hooked. I watched Naruto first, and then I watched Shippuden, but it all started from that. Him just showing me one crazy elaborate fight scene.
Okay, so
You started cutting out towards the end there.
Did I? Oh man,
I heard him fine.
Yeah, you did a little bit, but that's all right. You heard him fine?
Yeah, he sounded good for me.
Take your turn.
Huh.
So I'll go. So Bryce did try and get me into anime. He wasn't too pushy. Like he wasn't on me about it, but he like mentioned it a couple of times. Me, like, I was like thinking about it, like, I'm not gonna get into this nerdy stuff. Like, I was like, that's not me. And it took me a couple of years. But then I was walking down the halls of one of the dorm rooms, and I walk into another guy on the wrestling team's dorm room, and he was watching Hunter x Hunter. And it was at the end of the Hunter exam when. Can I spoil the end of the Hunter exam?
I think you can spoil the end of the Hunter exam.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think enough people have seen it.
Okay, so at the end of the Hunter exam, when Illumi reveals himself to Killua and during that tournament, that was like the first scene that I had watched in Hunter x Hunter, and I was like, "Whoa, this stuff is nuts." So then I watched like Killua murder that one old dude, which I thought was pretty insane. So the other guy on our team, he was like, "Yeah, this is anime," and I was like, "Whoa, this stuff's pretty cool. I'm gonna give it a try." So I asked him what the show was. He told me it was Hunter x Hunter. I went through and watched that, and I'm like, "Wow, this stuff's awesome." And then I decided to move on from Hunter, and I watched like FMAB, and then I decided I'm gonna take down Goliath, and I'm gonna watch all of One Piece.
Oh
So
man.
that's kind of like where I started off, And then since then, I'm always asking Bryce for recommendations, and I've started to try and recommend stuff to him. But yeah, it's kind of evolved from there to where I'm like not watching any more Eastern television. It's all just anime at this point.
You don't watch anything that's
How a
on
lot of us feel.
what you would consider regular TV.
Sports, that's about
Yeah.
it. Like I'll
Yeah,
watch playoff
yeah.
football and stuff like that. But other than that, I'm not gonna like go watch like Grey's Anatomy or Riverdale.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I think that's because of
It
streaming
was a slow
services.
progression for me. Oh yeah, it's just so easy. You have Crunchyroll, Funimation, VRV.
Well, yeah, and then it's like I don't want to pay for real
There's
cable.
so many ways.
No one our age, I
Yeah.
think, pays for actual cable unless it comes in their apartments or something.
YouTube
like
TV
that.
though. A lot of people
Oh,
get YouTube TV.
I do have friends that have YouTube TV.
Yeah, or Hulu Live TV. I know some people who have that.
I have Hulu Premium, but I don't have Live. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, it's
But then it might
it's
be. I
not
don't
bad.
know.
It's about the same price as YouTube TV, and you get fairly similar content.
If my fiance didn't watch a lot of shows, then I don't think we would have get cable, because I would be fine with Netflix, Hulu, Funimation, Crunchyroll, and just YouTube and Twitch at that point.
She watches a lot of shows. She likes to do like Bachelor and stuff like that.
I won't disagree that some of the shows, like My 600-Pound Life, are funny. They're really funny.
Yeah, cable's just a different type of place, man. You can get lost in cable television for hours.
Just those
Just clicking
witty
through.
little sitcoms that like Seinfeld, a show about literally nothing.
I think that's why I like anime so much, is because I'm watching for a purpose. Like I'm watching to enjoy the arc or the story development or the character development all the way through. So you're like you're waiting for these little things to pick up on to kind of put the full puzzle together. And that's why I think I prefer anime over actual cable television.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I completely agree, because like I think the depth of character in anime is just something that can't be
Matched.
like nothing. It can't be matched by anything in Eastern television.
Well,
At
it's
least
not that
nothing
it
that I've
can't be
seen.
matched, but think of how difficult it would be, right? In anime, say you have a 6-year time skip in a week, right?
Yeah.
So how are you going to cast a whole new cast supposed to be 6 years older in 1 week? And then you have a flashback. How are you going to cast a flashback like that too?
Yeah. Well, that comes with the limitations of having human or live beings.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You know, and that's the difference. Eastern television is always live people doing things, and then
Or
with
it's like the
animation,
adult joke animations.
yeah, and then those usually fizzle out after a season or two,
Unless you're Family Guy.
unless you're
Or
Family
South
Guy.
Park.
Or
But that's
South
just
Park
because
or the
they were the
Simpsons.
first couple ones, you know.
Yeah, people still
Yeah.
watch them weekly because they are the show.
Yeah, they were the
Yeah.
originals.
And they're episodic, so there's not like those deeper themes and stuff like
It's
in those
true.
arcs that you can go through that like
Oh, yeah.
actually make you think about like the characters and actually care about the characters. You're just like,
And why
haha,
they're
Peter's
doing what
funny.
they're doing.
Yeah, or you get like some Supernatural. Oh, Supernatural is a show I used to like it a lot.
I did like Supernatural.
Like I guess some of the more action-based shows like Supernatural, Arrow, things like that, I would enjoy still. But like most um, Western TV, I'm not for it.
yeah, I would agree. I've only seen a handful of things like that. I enjoyed Arrow and Supernatural for sure, but I think that pivots us in our next point about your top 3 animes.
Yeah, because it's so easy to do a superhero show.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think My Hero is in anyone's top 3, but there's no arguing it's a good show. Well, I guess there is
Not
arguing.
anyone in this group, but there are a lot of My Hero fanboys and girls around the world who are
Oh, no,
just
it definitely
super
has
for-
one of the most toxic fan bases.
Absolutely.
Although I will say Attack on Titan's fan base has equaled that level lately.
They've been
Yeah,
getting there.
that's what I've
They've
been
Well,
hearing.
the thing is, they hated the new season so much that they sent letters to the company that's producing it and the animators, and they got the second part of it canceled. Like there is no longer a season
Wait,
4 part.
really?
There's no longer a season 4 part 2. They're not
I
going to
didn't
do
know
it.
that.
They're stopping after part 1.
So they're stopping season 4. Like they're stopping Attack
No,
on
they're
Titan?
gonna. There's a natural break, kind of like season 3 had, where it had that break, part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
They'll do the same thing with season 4, but they're not going to release the part 2. Maybe another company will pick it up. Maybe they'll decide to go with it. Who knows?
Well,
But
that's
as of
crazy.
right
I didn't
now-
actually know that.
You know what I heard people were getting all like crazy about was like Mikasa getting a major haircut and it kind of making her look
All right,
like
Mikasa was that big.
Mikasa? Seriously?
Watch it that didn't like.
Everybody liked her.
no, but like they were
Everyone
saying
liked
that like her haircut was like making it look like she was looking more manly, more masculine at that point instead of being like the
Levi
girl.
looked very similar.
But
Levi and Mikasa
Not
are
her
twins.
character though. At the same time,
they were like mad that they were not
they're cousins,
translating
aren't
it from
they?
the
Is it
manga.
cousins?
I have no clue. Spoilers. Don't do too many
Cousins. I mean, they're both
spoilers.
Ackermans.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've not
Yes,
even
you're right.
watched any of Attack on Titan.
Wait,
Damn, isn't it a
rewind
spoiler?
what you just said. They're both Ackermans, huh?
Ackermans. That's not really a spoiler, is it?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that was like episode. I've seen episode 1, and I think that was in episode 1.
Interesting.
Levi doesn't get introduced that early, but they introduce him as Levi Ackerman. So is that really a spoiler?
I guess it's a spoiler if you don't pay enough attention.
Although I will say the first time I watched it, I didn't pay attention. I was like, hold on, they're related.
Yeah,
Watched it, and I was like, oh, yeah, obviously they're related.
it's a good time. He's a beast. Levi is insane.
At least they
He's
didn't
great.
do like the old Star Wars where there's like weird sexual tension, but then they find out that they're like related in some way.
Hey man, don't you dog on my Star
I
Wars.
actually think they dislike each other.
Who? Luke and Leia?
Mm. All right. Yeah. No, I'm talking.
All right, let's get back on track.
Yeah, we
here.
gotta get back on anime topics.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
top 3.
So that brings us to the point where I'm going to ask you to. No. I'm going to ask you a trivia question first.
Oh, trivia.
I'm going to give you a few seconds to think about it, and then I will come back and I'm still not sure how I'm going to have you two decide who goes first.
Well,
Oh,
do you want
I'll
to
just ask you a number between 1 and 10, and I'll think of a
Okay.
number, and then if you get it right, you get to go.
What if you don't know?
Then
you pass.
you're screwed. You
Okay.
pass. Exactly, pass.
All right.
Pass.
I'm focused. I'm ready.
In the show Death Note, remember, you're not yelling the answer out.
Okay.
In the show Death Note, what name did L give the police?
Oh, dang, this is tough.
That's a hard one. I'm trying to think.
This is tough.
The alias he gave the police, the ones that all of the task force used. You're probably
my
going to
gosh.
kick yourself.
The task force for Death
Oh.
Note, right?
The task force in Death Note that had Light's dad on. What name did L give them to call him? You have 15 seconds.
Oh, what did they call him? Oh,
What name did he give them?
oh, gosh dang.
All right. Time's up.
I can't remember.
Number between one. Do neither of you have an answer?
I don't know if I remember.
Drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank, man.
Okay. I guess that's a good trivia question. The name was Ryuzaki.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think I would have
Ryuzaki.
got that. I don't think I
You
would have
probably
got
wouldn't
that.
have. You need to watch Death Note if you haven't watched it. It's a very good show. Until the middle.
I thought it had something to do with
Until the
Shinigami
middle.
or something.
No. L is the
I don't know.
detective.
Detective L.
Detective
I thought
L.
he said something about like Shinigami or something. And
Well,
like,
the whole time, Light plays with him by using Shinigami in his clues.
yeah.
Just don't watch the Netflix adaptation.
Can we just like talk about how Light is kind of a crappy Zodiac killer?
Is he that crappy though, dude? Like, think of how many
He
people
got
he
caught.
offed.
He got caught.
How many people did he
though?
off? Dude, how many people did he kill before he got caught?
Oh,
Tons.
tons.
Exactly.
Had
How
a
are you
2-year
gonna say
time
he's a
skip where
bad
he was
killer?
just killing people that whole time.
That's honestly, you're not wrong. Just offing anybody.
Well, not anybody.
But you understand how
criminals
much
Often
destabilization
criminals.
you could cause with that if that was actually in real life.
But the thing is, his goal. We turned
Was
this
to
into a
use-
Death Note
right.
podcast. His goal was to reform society by getting rid of criminals.
Craziness.
Yeah. It's a great show. If you haven't watched it, whether Tanner,
very
if
good.
you haven't watched it, or if anyone who listens to this hasn't watched it, definitely a must watch. Even if you don't like anime, it's probably a show that you might still enjoy.
I agree. It's very good.
I've seen a couple of the episodes. I haven't gotten all the way through.
You should watch it.
I gotta dedicate. You gotta dedicate yourself to.
It's
get
what
through the whole
you
series.
gotta pay attention. It's one of those things where they drop subtle hints the whole time about twists that
Yeah.
are coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I finished it in a weekend.
I mean, I've watched it probably 5 times.
I'm
I
remodeling
just
a
got
house.
so into it.
True.
I got so into it like so fast that I just was like, I'm finishing this. I'm watching this right now and I'm finishing it.
Those things are great when you have time for that. Like if I
I
had a
agree.
weekend of nothing, that is just a great feeling. But when you get through it, you're like, oh man.
By the way, if anyone's looking for 12 to 25 episode shows for recommendations, I have plenty. Just
Oh,
throwing
do
it out
you?
there for you two.
Look at
Overly
guy right
Cautious
there.
Hero is great.
I've got a good 900 episode recommendation.
All right, I gotta hear this though. I want to know what y'all's favorite
Yes.
or your top 3 are. What are your top 3, Nick?
Nick goes first.
All right, so my top 3. This is pretty set in stone.
We already
right
know.
here, it's gonna be.
We already know
tough.
you're number 1.
Hold on, let me see if I can guess it.
Yep. Nope. We already know.
All right, let's see if you can.
Fine.
Guess it.
Does it have to do with?
It's got Hunter x Hunter. It's got One Piece.
One Piece is definitely his number
One Piece is his
right?
number 1. Hunter might be his 2.
And what's number 3? Bryce, we've talked about this before.
I know, but I don't remember.
I know it's not Bleach because he always dogs on
He
Bleach.
does dog on Bleach.
I'm not dogging on it. I just said
Interspecies
it's-
reviewers.
What?
Oh,
No, that's not number 3.
I actually haven't even.
He's like,
finished
"Oh, no, you
Interspecies
caught me."
Reviewers.
Tanner, do you know
I've
anything
only
about
watched
interspecies reviewers?
No, I don't. I don't think I want to either.
You don't.
it. It
It doesn't say, just by the way your tone presented that statement, I knew I
Let me
didn't
just
want
tell
to.
you, it
Tanner, I'll
has.
send you
There's two
clips
versions
after
of
the
it.
show.
There's two versions of it. There's a
Oh,
safe
man.
for work and a not safe for work version.
Okay, I want to safe for
I don't
work.
think. I don't think you. I think the safe for work version would be like 12 4-minute one shots.
Wait, hold on, Nick. Isn't there two versions of it though?
No, it is not safe for work whatsoever. It's etchy. It's kind of like a parody hentai, like where it's not quite hentai, but
But
it's
it's
pretty
it's not
etchy.
etchy either.
Hmm.
It's pretty. It's really on the high end of etchy. Like if Food Wars was on the low end of etchy, uh,
Low end, bro. Food Wars is etchy.
it
It's
is, but
about
I
as
wouldn't
etchy as
say
you
that it's
get.
All right, wait.
really.
So Hogan? What's your top
Yeah.
three?
What's your top three?
So my top three is number one is my first anime that I watched, and that's Hunter x Hunter.
That's number
Uh,
one.
that's number one. Number two,
Hunter x
One
Hunter is
Piece.
one. Who
Hunter.
goes down the top three from 1 to 3?
We're just going
Go
over
3,
our
2,
top three
1,
right
not
now.
1, 2, 3. You
Well, you know what?
don't
I'm
have your
built
top
different.
3 ordered?
He's like, I don't tell
I
you how
do
to
have it
count. You
over.
don't tell me how to count.
I have my top 10 listed out if we
Apparently.
want to go through that. But no, my number three is Black Clover.
And what's two?
Um, One Piece.
Interesting.
Hunter x Hunter just
Then 1
has
is Hunter x Hunter.
and one is Hunter x Hunter.
Do you give
So
it number one spot just because it was your first, or
that's really part of it is that like it's got a special
Be
it's
part of it.
holds a special part of my heart because it like introduced me to anime and really got me into it.
yeah,
Like without Hunter x Hunter, I wouldn't have had anything else. And I also think it's an absolutely fantastic show. Like
yeah.
I love it so much, even though it's not done. But there's
Mhm.
rumors that it might come back within the next year or
Mm.
two with another 12 episode season or something,
Never be
which would be
done.
sweet
It's never
because
going to be done.
there's yeah, Tagashi's like not really doing much at this point because he's got a bad back
The
and he
writer.
won't let anybody
Yeah, that's the
else.
writer.
Yeah, he won't let anybody else like draw the characters or anything.
Mhm.
Even though his wife is a pretty solid mangaka. I'm not sure what she just done, but she does some pretty good drawings and everything. I don't know. I really wish it would finish, but I think Togashi set up a show that was gonna last like as long as One Piece because he set up this like dark continent being like this
No,
vast like
no.
land.
It would no show will last that long.
No, but like it was gonna be a long term. I'm thinking Togashi was thinking like he could get like 600-700
Long term,
chapters out
they
of it.
don't think One Piece.
No, they don't.
Oh
But the
man.
way he set up the Dark Continent, it could be a long, like 600-700 chapter story instead of just like
How many
300.
episodes is Hunter right now?
147
How many episodes, Hunter? Yu Yu
or
Hakusho.
148 actually, I think.
The low hundreds. Yu Yu Hakusho is like 120.
I think
How many
shows that are around
chapters
100
though?
are pretty easy to get through.
I don't know. I'm not reading it. I'm watching it.
Yeah. Well, I think Hunter is like overall, I think it's like 300 something chapters. And I
Mhm.
think based on like how they set it
Whoa.
It's
up,
not
they're only
done though.
about halfway through.
Did
Like
you everybody else just have Nick Spike on the
Just yelled
audio?
into my ears. It was lovely.
oh,
Thanks
am
for
I
that,
getting a
Nick.
little too loud?
No, I think your
Not
mic
even
just
talking
spiked.
loud. Oh.
It was like it was a Wi-Fi thing mixed with your mic, and you just kind of spiked. It's all right.
Oh, my bad. But no, Hunter x Hunter, special place in my heart. One Piece, I just absolutely love the journey, love the show. Highly
Mhm.
recommend you watch it. I can be kind of a fanboy sometimes. I
You're
know.
the biggest fanboy.
Yeah, I get it.
You
I
are a
can probably be
fanboy
a little
all of the
overbearing.
time.
You're
Uh,
almost as bad as, but can he beat Goku? But can he beat Goku? But can he beat
Almost.
Goku?
Almost as
Okay.
bad.
You're almost,
uh,
you're getting close.
Yes.
uh, Well, we all know that Luffy can beat Naruto in a fight. Like that's just not even
All
debatable.
right, and on to Bryce's top three.
But like
So for a different day.
Black Clover, my number 3. I just love that show. I honestly think that like I've seen about 140 episodes ish of Black Clover, and I think that it is better than the first 140
Nearly
episodes
to
of
the
One
time
Piece.
skip.
Yeah, just about to the time skip.
So you're
but
telling me if Black Clover goes for 900 episodes, it's going to be your favorite show?
Not necessarily, because it has to hit the same. Like I would say, Black Clover hasn't hit anything nearly as good as Enies Lobby and Water 7 or Marineford. Like
How
Black
many
Clover hasn't.
episodes was Enies Lobby in? Like 400?
Yeah, but I also think that
Yeah, it was like
Arlong.
400.
I think that like overall, first 140 episodes gets you through Alabasta. I'd say Alabasta is a better arc than anything Black Clover's done. But also, One Piece had a bunch of crappy arcs like Orange Town and Syrup Village and stuff. So, like,
Wow,
I
did you
really.
But
actually
Black
say
Clover's
One
been
Piece
pretty
did something
consistently
bad?
good.
Oh yeah, Black Clover's been consistently good, and that's why I say its first 140 episodes are probably better than One Piece's first 140 episodes.
I heard you have to watch 440 episodes just to start liking One Piece.
I said 44. I've said 44 this whole time.
Oh,
That
Jesus.
gets
It
you
wasn't
through Arlong Park.
444. Oh, that's weird.
Okay. All right.
I've-
Tanner, top 3. Go.
My top 3. I'll do it. Nick did. I'll start off at number 1, and
Oh
I
my
think
God.
I've got a similar thing. I think Naruto / Naruto Shippuden. I'm gonna
We'll
put
count
those.
it, we'll count the franchise together.
Yeah, I want the franchise should be 1. I would say that was my number 1 because not only was it my first, but it's great.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things you can just watch every character in that show develop, and you learn.
Except 1010.
Except for Tintin, they did her wrong.
She needs screen time to develop.
unwritten character, but it's okay because everybody else is written so well, so I'll let it slide. So I'd say Naruto franchise was up there. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I loved that. That will definitely be number 2 because I watched that, couldn't get enough of it, loved it. And then number 3, I think my number 3 always has a tough fight between a couple, but if I had to give it, it'd probably go to Black
Right
Clover.
now, Black Clover. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Black Clover. I wanted to say Jujutsu Kaisen, but there's only like 17 episodes.
There's not enough.
There's not enough, so I can't even group it. I really like where it's going, but it can't
Mhm.
break my top 3. I mean,
Not yet.
Not yet.
Give
Maybe
it 60 episodes.
Yeah. Well, I'll give it 100 episodes, and then it can come into my top 3.
Like if
But-
Black Clover ended tomorrow and Jujutsu Kaisen put 60 more episodes on par with what they're doing now, it would easily beat Black Clover, is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly. So, but Black Clover would come in at number 3. I love Black Clover.
Jujutsu Kaisen just has the best opening of the year. Opening 1 for Jujutsu Kaisen is so good.
Yeah, it did really good. It did very well.
I don't know if
like
you've
what-
listened to the full version, Tanner, but you need to.
I don't think I've listened to the full version.
I'll send it to you later. It's got like a rap part in the middle that's really good.
Okay, send that to me. But yeah, we've talked a lot about Black Clover. I like it a lot.
Yeah, so
Full
we don't
Metal
need to go
Alchemist
more into
Brotherhood
Black
though,
Clover.
just it slayed. It was awesome.
It just hits different.
It does.
It's a great story.
It is a phenomenal story.
A little slow at times, but it's great.
Yeah, but it keeps it
It
going.
has to be slow because of all like when it's slow, it could just info dump you for 20 seconds or 20 minutes, but instead it just actually builds the world slowly.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's a great story. Arguably one of the best stories in fiction. Like, I'll say that it's probably one of the best stories in fiction.
I think didn't I say something like that already?
I think so. I don't know. Maybe. You say a lot of things.
All of us like Black Clover and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. There we go.
And Hogan fanboys One Piece.
It's okay.
And I don't have a strong opinion towards Naruto.
You haven't watched it yet or read it.
You
I know
don't
that.
get an opinion.
That's why I don't have a strong opinion towards it.
That's fair.
Then Bryce, let's hear your
All
top
right,
3.
my
man.
top 3. I'm going to start with number 3. You know what's sad is that our top 3 sound so similar, all of us. But you know the one big thing is? Let's start
What?
with 3. 3 is Black Clover. right? We've talked about Black Clover.
Oh, let's go!
Wow, we got
Black
another-
Clover.
Of the Black Clover third sweep. That's what I'm talking about, right?
That I didn't expect that. I did not think we would ever sweep
I honestly
on
didn't
anything.
think that both of you would say Black Clover in your top 3.
I thought we would make over 100 episodes before all 3 of us agreed on one single topic. But we did it today on number 1.
We did it, boys.
Wow. I'm retiring. It's been a great job.
It's been a great journey. I love the show. No, number 2 is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I think I already kind of hinted at that. I love it. World building's really good. It had such a satisfying ending.
It did. They completed the story, and that's all you ever want.
And that final fight was also one of the best fights I've seen animated.
Big time.
You see, like, dedication to family and love, and it was great.
Mm-hmm.
Lingreed's also one of the best characters in anime. I'm just gonna throw that
Can
one out
confirm Lingreed is one of the best.
Plus, he's voiced by Todd Haberkorn, which you can't beat Todd Haberkorn.
You can't go wrong.
And my number 1, which is another funny thing, that all 3 of us have different representations of the big 3. My number 1 is Bleach.
Oh.
I love Bleach. It was my first. I don't know. We should have seen it coming. Honestly.
Yeah, what's crazy is every single one of us put our first anime at number 1. Do you think everybody does that? Subconsciously?
It's probably pretty close. Like, most people's first is probably near their favorite.
Just got a warm place in your heart.
Yeah. I mean, Nick kind of screwed it up because he said Hunter was his favorite over One Piece. So we don't actually represent the big 3.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess, like, for me, it's 1 and 1A. Like,
okay, sit down.
Like,
sit down, My Hero Academia. Sit down.
Oh no.
Oh.
1A, get it? It's a joke.
Oh my!
I got it. I thought Hogan was about to go in.
You're the biggest My Hero fan in the lobby right now. So, like,
how?
Come on.
You know what he loves? Sword art.
Oh my God! Don't start me on sword art. That's not what today is. Not about sword.
I know, but I just would like to point out to the audience that doesn't even know. We filmed a previous one where we tried to do our first episode, and just the recordings didn't come out well. But we talked about some other topic, and it had nothing to do with sword art. And somehow Bryce,
I talked about how much I hated sword art.
We were like, "Hey Bryce, what color is the sky today? You know how much I hate sword art." And I'm not kidding, guys. That's exactly how
That's pretty much
turned
how
out.
it happened. That's how it happened.
So yeah, season 2 of Sword Art was terrible.
God. Hey, Todd Haberkorn was in Sword Art. Why are all the Why are all the Sword Art bad guys pedophiles? Is my thing. All of them. All of them are pedophiles.
It's an underlining.
I think the Gun Gale guy. I think he was just a rapist. Like, he was the same age as the chick.
Oh yeah, because that's not pedophilia. I mean, just violating people.
I guess they're all just rapists, not pedophiles, but they're all really creepy. Todd Haberkorn was actually very disturbing as Oberon. It was like disturbing to watch.
I haven't gone through Sword Art, so I can't really have an opinion.
It's bad. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, you deterred me from wanting to ever start it.
Although Sword Art Progressive is coming out. I think it might have started airing already. And what it does is it goes back and it goes each floor of Aincrad at a time. So that might be good.
It might fix Sword Art Online.
It might not make me hate Sword Art Online. Which is a shame, because the first time I watched it, I liked it. But then the more I watched it, I was like, this show's not good.
It happens.
Well, the first 13 episodes are actually fantastic, but they just rushed right through the game and then have, the ass pull of a century to win the game.
Hey, he had cheats. He has hacks.
Yeah.
Wish I had hacks in real life.
That's what I'm saying.
Life hacks.
Anyway, I never explained why Bleach is my favorite, so let me do that.
Yeah, we need that. We need that to finish it.
Bleach has the best transformations in anime. You can't fight it. Ichigo has that drip. He has like 12 transformations throughout the entirety of the story, manga included, and each one of them is just better than the last.
I think you've sent me a picture of his transformations.
His transformations are so clean. Plus, all the characters in Bleach they're just drawn really well. Like, I can't point out one character that's like, yeah, this character is drawn terrible. Like, the artist did not care about this person.
I like the art. I'm a big fan of good drawings.
Really good. The story, we were kind of talking about it. I think the podcast started, but Nick said it's more of a seinen than a shonen, which I'll agree. There's a lot more straight gore than a lot of the other, especially the other two big three.
Well, I would say it's closer to a seinen. I would still say it's shonen, but it's like closer
Right.
to a seinen than say like Naruto or One Piece,
Because
obviously.
of how much blood it has, or what?
Well,
Just
it's
a
got
little
more
edgier
adult
than
themes.
the other two.
To it.
Yeah,
Whereas
it's got more
kids can
adult
watch
themes.
Naruto.
Yeah, and I think that's a big reason that the Bleach gets underrepresented is because a lot of people have nostalgia for the big three.
Yeah, big time. It is a good nostalgic feeling.
And also, a lot of people choose one of the big three that they watch first, and that's their show. They go to bat for that show. I go to bat for Bleach. You go to bat for Naruto, and Nick goes to bat for Dragon Ball.
Hogan goes to death.
I did not go to bat for Dragon Ball. I've never watched Dragon Ball.
Kidding. Dragon Ball's not the big three. But no, Nick obviously represents One Piece. Which is really funny too, because in our Discord, my picture is a transformed Ichigo. Nick's picture is Zoro, and Tanner's picture is Sasuke's curse mark.
It used to be Voodoo Ranger.
But it's not anymore.
It was the Ranger.
I know that Bleach has problems. I know it's not the best story ever written. And I know it's 45% filler. But it's still my favorite show. It's really good. It's one of the shows. And Fullbringer arc, the last arc in the anime right now, is one of the best arcs in anime.
I definitely have to circle back through Bleach.
You should. You can skip the filler. My rule is the first time I watch a show, I'll watch the filler.
That's your rule? Is you will watch the filler?
I will. And then every time after that, I'll skip the filler. And yes, I even watched Mecha Naruto.
Oh God.
Oh man.
Don't.
And then I watched the 300, not 300, but like the 30 episodes of the Tsukuyomi.
Oh yeah.
Oh, those aren't actually that bad.
There's a lot of, I wouldn't say development, but there's a lot of, they had a lot of time to do it, and they had to. So
yeah,
I think it worked well.
Yeah, but there you go.
I watched, so for One Piece going through it, I watched a lot of filler, but I also skipped a little bit of it. Like,
yeah.
I skipped like Boss Man Luffy, especially since like some of it like had nothing to do with like even.
Yeah, because there was the Toriko crossover with One Piece.
I watched like half of that, and it was like really weird.
And then there was the Dragon Ball Toriko crossover.
That one was really weird. I watched that one, and that one was interesting. It was a race for a piece of meat.
I'm just saying, if they were to race, it wouldn't even be close. Goku would just speed blitz it. I mean,
probably 100%.
I don't understand the concept of it.
But like, Luffy would at least be able to go 4 times the speed of light.
Okay.
We're not getting into this.
Okay, we're not debating characters. That leads us to our segue out. That is everything we have to say. Anyone have any final thoughts before we kind of wrap up?
No, I think we. I would just like to point out I didn't think we were ever going to agree on something, and it was never going to happen, and it happened in the very first episode.
And we agreed on Black Clover, a show that people absolutely despise for.
Yeah, people hate it.
People hate Asta.
I love him.
I think we only disagreed on our big 3 choices.
No, you didn't have FMAB in your top 3.
Well, it's number 7 on my list now.
Whoa!
Wow.
7. You know what's 7 on my list? Not Sword Art.
Oh God. This guy.
No, FMAB. I think it's amazing. It's just the 6 shows that are ahead of it. I think
hold on. Isn't Food War in your top 5?
No, Food Wars is 8. So
FMAB just barely beat Food War.
Okay. So let's get this straight. Food Wars is a lot of fun to watch.
It is really fun to watch.
It has a lot of flaws in the storyline and everything. But
it's in my top 10 too.
It is a very enjoyable show to watch.
Yeah.
So you can't blame me on putting that.
I just laughed at the fact that it just right behind Full Metal.
Full Metal barely etched it out.
Okay, so the shows that I have between my top 3 and Full Metal Alchemist, they can all interchange. I could see if I rewatch Full Metal, I could jump it all the way up to number 4.
Yeah, I feel that.
like we talked about a couple of these, but like Death Note, Gurren Lagann, and JoJo's all could be interchanged with FMAB.
Wait,
So
so
it could.
JoJo's is in your top 10?
It's number 6.
Okay. Even though you
It
haven't
edged.
finished it?
Yeah, I really love part 3 in JoJo's. I think it's
Part one's good. Part two's still pretty good. Part three's really good, and part
part
four is just okay.
part 3 is like probably a 9.6.
Like part three, honestly,
and
could have been a show by itself, and it would have been
it
a
pro-
phenomenal show.
All
Well,
right,
it's-
I'm gonna be the one that's gonna bring all of our ADDs back under control. We
We are reaching the 45.
we all are
point.
so bad. Everybody in this podcast, you will see. I hope you viewers can go along with our tangent thoughts that just spur out of
We do
nowhere.
kind of just spiral out sometimes.
We try
Nick,
to stay on a
Mike,
general
I'll give
path.
you
What's
15
the fun
seconds
in
to
this? Come
finish
on,
your thought.
15
call a
seconds to
spade a
finish your
spade.
thought.
But,
Go ahead, Nick.
But like JoJo's kind of is every single part's like a new show almost, because like there's hardly any crossover from the previous parts
Mhm.
except for maybe a character here and there.
Besides the main story.
Well, kind of, but it's like Dio was
Kono
Like-
Dioda.
important in part 1, and then you didn't see him again until part 3.
All right. Yeah.
But
we'll save
Part 2
JoJo's
is
for
amazing.
another
Part
day.
3 is also amazing.
Yeah, that can probably be a whole other episode one day.
Honestly, JoJo's is enough we could talk about for an entire podcast. We might read it.
Agreed.
We never know. Which brings us to our final point. Before we let you guys go, there are some things we'd like to do in the future. A couple things like we talked about doing a book club kind of thing
Mhm.
where we'll read through together. Well, not together, but separately we'll read through, I don't know,
and then come and talk about it. Like
Yeah,
book clubs.
3 volumes at a time, maybe 2 or 3 volumes at a time.
Just
and then we'll
depending on
do
how many
that.
chapters.
Yeah,
it
it
is.
depends on what we're watching or
Mhm.
reading, I should say. And we'll probably do that every other week. We're not sure about that yet. Also, the name is still playing around with it, but I thought of the Misfit Blitz, which is going to be a 3 to 5 minute debate between 2 people, 2 of us randomly. And it could be random things. Like we could debate characters randomly. Like Nick and Tanner could debate, and Nick could get Soma from Food Wars, and Tanner could get Bulma. And you'd have to debate that.
Who would and what
Right, and
random
we don't know
topics.
what
It's
we-
going to be randomized.
Who's the better
we don't
cook
know what-
between the two?
Yeah, you have no idea what you'd be debating yet. But I
Yeah.
think that could be really fun.
Definitely.
We hope in the future to stream. Maybe
Mhm.
we'll see if we can get that worked out. Maybe do some YouTube stuff as well, and then
Mhm.
potentially have a D&D game going. That's all maybe stuff we will hope to do in the future. But as of now, that is all we have to say. Nick, any final words?
No. Join us back next week. Do we have a topic for next week?
Oh yeah, we got to give something for our viewers to look
Let's
forward
see.
to.
Let me look at what we got in our doc here and pick a topic that could be good.
We've got tons of options.
Oh, we could do best and worst anime transformations.
That
That could be fun.
Yeah, that could be fun. We can
plus
do that.
characters with the most drip.
Plus characters with the most drip. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. So join us next week where we talk about anime transformations and characters with the most drip.
There we go. Awesome.
I'm excited.
For
Tanner,
sure.
Any final words?
Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you enjoyed this wild journey with us. We're going to try to keep it rolling. We're going to try to keep it interested. If you ever have any topics you'd like us to join in on or give us your input, feel free to reach out.
All right. Thanks, guys. Hope to see you next week.